हेलो V3 बॉय, मैंने आपका चैनल काफ़ी समय से सब्सक्राइब कर रखा है। बस एक चीज़ पूछनी थी, आपके R15 V3 बाइक का रिव्यू कहाँ पे है?
इन द लॉन्ग टर्म क्या रिव्यू है इस बाइक का?
Bro,
मेंटेनेंस,
when you're making
माइलेज,
your
Bro,
bike
when will
review?
you
पार्ट्स
make your bike
अवेलेबिलिटी
review?
When will you make your
Hello,
bike
Hi
V3
review?
V3
Boy
boy,
21.
बाइक का
yeah,
रिव्यू
when
When
are
कहाँ
are
you
है
you
make
going to
your
R15
upload
का?
the
bike review
R15
video? We are
review
eagerly
video?
waiting for it.
Hi V3 boy, I wanted to ask you when is your bike review coming
कीर्ति
out
राज,
on
तुम
YouTube?
यामा R15 बाइक का रिव्यू वीडियो अपलोड कब करोगे?
आपकी जो बाइक है उसका भी एक बार रिव्यू की वीडियो डाल
Where is
दीजिए।
your
बाइक
bike
का रिव्यू
review?
तो बना दो।
Hello everyone, V3 Boy here. How are you? Yeah, I know you all have complaints that where you have been, why vlogs were not coming, and I have a genuine reason for that. I was busy in my thesis. I have now completed it, and I'm back for you all. While I was away, I saw all your requests and demands that you should make your bike review. You should make R15's review, and yes, so I've decided that I'll make the review and let you all know what is my experience and what are problems, advantages, and before that, I wanna say but before starting the vlog, I want to discuss about the past, the history of the bike, how it was, how it evolved. So let's start. Yamaha introduced R15 in June 2008, first in the Indian market, which was a fully fed motorcycle, and that is 150cc bike. It had stunning design, looks were awesome, and the dual headlights, those were also amazing to the eyes. This was a 150cc bike and was a next level bike, and I mean it. It had 17 PS of power and 14.5 Nm of torque. That's too much for that time. Everything in the bike was perfect, but everything has pros and cons. In this bike there was, according to me, I think there was only one con, that it had very thin tires, and which led to little bit low confidence. In September 2012, Yamaha launched upgraded version of R15, that is YZF R15 V2, and this bike was more stunning and more pleasing to the eyes. That was because of the sporty split pillion seat and had a 130 mm of wide rear tire. It looked amazing. The bike had similar front but had a little different fairing, which was much more sharper than earlier. People even called this bike unpractical, all due to its first floor pillion seat, and yes, it was. The bike came with various color schemes and various sticker upgrades that were amazing and good looking, but people now want something much more practical and much more easy to use. In 2005, Yamaha played a game and combined their version 1 and version 2. That is, they took wide rear tire section of version 2 and combined it with the version 1. That made a perfect product and with a comfortable seating, and was also much better package from the Yamaha as R15 series. It was amazing, and it was now being liked by the parents of the people. That was so freaking good. After a lot of teasing and also launched in various other countries, Yamaha finally launched it in 2018 Auto Expo, and this was a game changer. With variable valve actuation, this bike got much more capable, and yes, this is the part you all have been waiting for. So let's go downstairs and start our review. Bye bye. Like what you see, Yamaha's R series is known for their similar sharp looking design derived from the eldest sibling, legendary YZF R1. And since 2013, R1 got its design and dynamics from YZR M1, the MotoGP bike which legend Rossi and Vignale ride. One of the most stylish, fully faired and MotoGP resembling looks make V3 a all-new design from the previous versions of the series. Tall windscreen is quite helpful while crouching. A fake air intake to resemble elder siblings and sturdy tail fairings are noticeable upgrade. The tail fairing even has hollow rear section and also is surprisingly stronger than version 2. The plastic used is of high quality, although the tank plastic seems to be of cheap one. The pillion seat a little lower than the version 2, but barely noticeable change in the height still makes it hard for the pillion riders. Rider's seat is 815 mm high, therefore 15 mm higher than the V2's rider's seat. And don't forget about its 170 mm ground clearance, which allows you to go off-roading, but that's on your own risk. Now let's move and you'll see the traditional yet promising Delta box frame and lightweight aluminium swing arm. Talking about suspensions, we get telescopic in fronts, but we hoped for the upside downs like on the global market. And there is linked monoshock at rear. The setup is towards the harder side and provides amazing confidence even while cornering. Brakes used are 282mm hydraulic single disc at front and 220mm hydraulic disc at rear. This setup provides decent amount of braking confidence. However, you have to adapt. The bike even has slipper clutch, and that is a bonus as it covers the braking confidence and also helps while sudden or panic braking. The ABS is missing as it is BS4 version of bike. I tried various V3 with ABS, knew some kilometers done, but the response was not as good as non-ABS bike. But it is said, सबका अपना अपना style होता है. Tires here are 100 by 80 17 at front and 140 by 70 17 at rear. I replaced my tires at 17,000 kilometers because stock MRF tires were risky and were not good for long rides. Although I did many kilometers with them, I suggest to opt the optional Metzeler tire rather than going for the MRF tires, which are not safe for the beginners and the first timers. Headlights. Are headlights there? Oh yes. There are daytime running headlights and are of almost no use at night. On slow speed, There is little light which helps, but when you cross 60 or 70 kilometers per hour, the light is of no use. I had to complete my night rides with the help of other bikes which have better lights. But I see this problem is coming in most of the LED bikes which are of similar segments, that there is lighting problem, and the companies should look on this problem. The most important upgrade Yamaha YZF R15 V3 gets is variable valve actuation, known as VVA. This works as the cam shift for the better low-end performance as well as mind-blowing high-end performance. VVA shifts cam at 7400 RPM. For detailed working, I have to make a separate vlog. So comment down below and hit the more like for motivating me for making the more detailed review of VVA. As a 155cc motorcycle, the performance and handling are amazing. It is easy to flick as it is lightweight, and highly stable handling provides you enough confidence to perform corners, but keep in mind you are riding MRF as stock tires. R15 V3 is beginner's perfect sports bike and also is used by national as well as international racing events and schools. The console on dash is now completely digital, looks amazing, and also you can set a 6-letter word or name. That's cool. First, you'll notice the speedometer, a gear indicator, fuel gauge, clock, real-time fuel economy, throttle base, an overall fuel economy indicator, average speed indicator, odometer, and 2 trip meters. At last, there is a third trip meter, which is for total traveled from the last ignition turned on. R15 V3 has a single-cylinder liquid-cooled 155cc engine which produces 19.3 bhp of power and at the rate of 10,000 rpm and 15 Nm of torque at the rate of 8500 rpm. The bike is even fuel injected with amazingly smooth 6-speed gearbox with slipper clutch. The bike can easily cruise at 110 and 120 km per hour and even can do top speed of 155 plus km per hour. That is not normal for any 150cc. That makes it the king of the segment. This is a smaller capacity bike, and so Yamaha not only tried to make it budget friendly but also reduce the price of spares and body parts. This is much more cheaper than the other versions of the R15 series. The bike was launched in BS4 version, pricing 1,25,000 to 1,28,000 ex-showroom according to the color schemes. And now bike which is available in the market is BS6 version, and that is pricing rupees 1,45,000 to 1,48,000 ex-showroom, that according to the respective colors. The addition in the price is all due to the addition of ABS side stand indicator and BS6 norms. Even the front brake caliper is now Nissan caliper. So guys, this was the honest review of Yamaha YZF R15 from my side, and to conclude this vlog I want to say I chose this bike because it was a sports bike and I always wanted to own a sports bike, fully fed one, and I was comfortable with the aggressive riding position. And as you can see in other vlogs, I am doing rides on this bike without changing its handlebar. Another fact which I like the most about this bike is its fuel efficiency. It is a 150cc bike, so it has to give a good fuel efficiency, and so this bike gives me 45 to 50 kilometers per liter when I ride peacefully and with care. But whenever I go and do top speeds, then bike mostly drops minimum to 26-27 km per liter. And I'll also add up that people will make fun, will say that how a bike can do. Don't listen to them. Choose the bike which you like the most, and yes, it's all about the rider, not about the ride. Press the subscribe button, hit the bell icon, and stay tuned, because now I'm going to be constant on my YouTube channel. And so, meet you on the next vlog. Stay tuned.